Hi. In this movie, you will see how PEDS Online works in our busy clinics. We describe one of our patients whose pseudonym is Maddie Walds. He was 3 years old when we saw him for the first time and did not present with past records. You will also see how our differing multi-satellite clinics implemented the PEDS Online screening service, including administration options, billing and coding for optimal reimbursement, how we met foreign language challenges, and found resources both for referrals and for parenting information. Although the focus in this movie is on healthcare clinics, the implementation process is relevant to other settings, such as daycares, schools, Head Start, foster care, and other types of services. So this is an image of the PEDS Online login page where you insert your username and password to begin. Once into the site, your login information persists, meaning that when you start screening a different child, you don't have to re-enter your username or password. After logging in, you'll see the screen selection page, and you have these options. You can start with Parents' Evaluation of Developmental Status, or PEDS, which analyzes parents' concerns and tells you which ones are problematic and which ones just need advice. Eliciting parents' concerns at every well visit is recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics. Then, optionally, you can complete PEDS Developmental Milestones, or PEDS-DM as it's called, and or the Modified Checklist of Autism in Toddlers, the MCHAT. Or, if you're not interested in parents' concerns, you can just start with the PEDS-DM and then decide whether to complete the optional MCHAT. You can also decide on this page whether to administer tools in English or Spanish. Once you've logged in, you land on this page where you'll see the required information you'll need to add, including the child's name, date of birth, and date of testing, for which there is a helpful click button. Other fields are optional but preferred. Just below, assuming that you've selected to start with PEDS, are the PEDS questions where parents' comments are entered. When you've finished, you click Submit at the bottom of the page. You're then brought to this page where you double check that the child's age is correct. You can also add any concerns you have, but just don't remove the parents' concerns. However frivolous parents' concerns may seem to you, those concerns are real to them and they need addressing. So the PEDS scoring will find those concerns not predictive of real problems and advise you to offer guidance and monitoring rather than referring. So here is one of the first children we screened through PEDS Online. This is Maddie at age 3. Let's look closely at what his mom had to say. She wrote, he doesn't grasp markers or utensils well and doesn't like to write or draw. His speech is difficult to understand. The PEDS Online software parses parents' verbatim comments when scoring. It then categorizes them and then identifies risk levels that indicate, based on evidence, what to do next. Once parents or clinic staff have entered comments, you just click Submit. In Maddie's case, PEDS Online identified his mother's concerns as fine motor and expressive language and articulation issues. This placed Maddie on a moderate risk path, not so high that we'd go for an immediate referral, but enough to make us want to look further at his development. Although we could have referred him to the early intervention service for further screening, we found that with PEDS Online, it doesn't take much time to do the additional screens ourselves, and that enables us right then and there to decide whether we need to refer and for what types of services, or whether we simply need to give the parents advice and then monitor development carefully. But because Maddie was new to our clinic and had not, as far as we knew, been screened for autism spectrum disorders in the past, which is what the Academy recommends that we all do at 18 months and again at 24 months, we decided to administer the MChat next. The MChat items then appear and you select between the yes/no answers. When finished, you click Continue. Now you've come back to the report page and can see the combined results plus a final option, which is to administer the PEDS developmental milestones. Because Maddie passed the MChat, we chose to give the PEDS DM next because we know that the MChat only rules out the possibility of autism spectrum disorders, meaning that Maddie could still have speech language, fine motor, or other problems that the MChat doesn't detect. Plus, the PEDS DM covers milestones with evidence, and not only do most of our providers want to look at that, but the AAP also recommends viewing milestones at each well visit along with parents' concerns. So we've selected to give the PEDS DM, and here you see the questions appropriate for Maddie's age. There is one question for each domain: expressive language, receptive language, gross motor, fine motor, self-help, and social emotional. Older children also get questions about reading and math, so in total there are 6 to 8 milestone questions depending on age. After you've completed those questions, you click Submit, and then you will see the PEDS DM results and those of prior measures. Maddie met milestones in some areas, but not in fine motor and expressive language, meaning that he performed below the 16th percentile compared to his peers. Now we know that the 16th percentile is okay for height, weight, and head circumference, but when it comes to development, such delays strongly predict present and future problems with school skills and school success. So, it is definitely time to do something to help Maddie. For starters, PEDS Online generates a referral letter that you can send to early intervention, public schools, Head Start, or other services and therapies to whom you wish to refer. You'll also see that at the bottom of this letter that there are procedure codes, ICD-9 codes, and guidance on how to bill and code for the screens you've administered. PEDS Online also generates a summary report you can print out to send home with parents. This explains the findings in family-friendly terms and includes recommendations plus links to needed resources. The AAP and other societies recommend that families receive a written take-home summary whenever children are referred and whenever clinicians offer advice about developmental promotion and behavioral guidance. Must say, though, that the optimal approach is to make appointments for families. They are much more likely to keep them